Good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of WTF, otherwise known as What the French Toast, the podcast that allows me, your host, to react to videos prevalent and or viral on the internet in real time. Today, we are going to have a reaction to a reaction video. And this has to deal with everyone's favorite villainess, Dinalva. And more to the point, this is Auntie's reaction to Dinalva, being Dinalva. Now, if anybody here knows anything about me, they know this. I don't like her. At all. It's borderline hatred at this point. I don't even like to hear her talk. Because it's always about me. Me, 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 me. I think, I feel, if I was you, I would me, 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 me. And we're going to talk about some things that she talks about. And I'm going to give my reaction and my perspective on it. And in the comments, you guys can put in your 2 cents as well. And who knows, we may even do a spin-off of this one where we deal with your reactions to it. But now, without further ado, here we go. Let's begin.
So that the women that go through something and don't have the balls to go to the police, they can actually say, do you know what?
Does she look like a woman who doesn't have the balls to go to the police? Does she look like that kind of woman?
We're stopping it real quick. Because she doesn't look like she does seem like a woman who has the balls. She just won't do it. Does this look like the woman who didn't have the balls? I wouldn't think so. With a mouth like that, she should be able, that's the first thing she should do. But this woman is a walking, talking, breathing contradiction of terms. She'll say one thing, and she'll say something else. She'll find the path of least resistance and take it. She will say whatever she needs to say to further her agenda. And her agenda is always me. Let's continue.
She's that kind of woman, the woman that's out there empowering women.
At least there's somebody there that says, if I leave, at least I'm free of it.
Nah,
because not everybody
go
is
to the police. Go to the police.
Go to the police if you can. If you can't, I understand why you didn't. And if you want, message me. Dinalva.
She's always there, got to put herself on social media. She's always there. Now, how are you going to help someone? If you couldn't help yourself, how are you going to go and help someone?
True. If you can't help yourself, how can you help someone? If I need help to obtain a goal, am I going to turn to someone who's never even attempted to have this goal and ask for advice? No, because they don't know. They have no idea of what my struggle is, how I started, and where I want to go. So they may know where I want to go, but they don't know how to get there because they've never been there. So how would you know?
My name is Dinalva. Contact me on, help me up on IG.
Don't worry, my sisters. I got you. What you're going through, nobody knows until you're going through it.
Nobody
Trust
knows.
me.
She even made me kiss my teeth.
Here's something that I don't think she caught on. But she used 2 words that are the bread and butter of a narcissist. Trust me. If you're making a point, the last thing you want to do is for someone to trust you because you feel they're going to trust you. If they're not going to trust you, then they're not going to trust you, but that's not going to be the case. Trust me. Miss me with that shit.
Okay, but I would also like to add a slightly...
Yeah, so I just want to end it on that one blessing. I just want to do the clips of every time. And here she goes again. She just brings out the worst in me.
Can we do some sign language?
That's
Can we do some sign language? Who hurt you?
Yeah.
Okay. This next clip is one of my favorites because just about everybody dogpiles on her. And during this clip, I want you to take a look at the expressions on Sarah Garvey. Shout out to Sarah Garvey. I want you to notice his mannerisms and expressions because just watching him, you'd be like, OMG.
Listen,
Who hurt you?
the whole world is hurting.
Did you hear
I'm
what
not
she
gonna
said?
lie. The world is a very ugly place. I'm not gonna lie. I have a lot of
what
love.
did you
That's
say,
all I gotta
Auntie?
give.
Now, when I saw that picture here, that's what I was saying. You see her here, and you see her in the first video with Castillo. That year has been hard for her.
She's the last thing she said was from somebody she can't control.
Yeah,
that is your
that's-
problem.
yeah.
No, whose actions I can't control, which
Why
means
would you can't control
anyone.
Why would you?
It was one of these shows where Dinalva come on, everybody's having a peaceful conversation, and then Dinalva starts up with her delusional. And
I ain't gonna lie. The woman speaks truth. It gets to the point where I think the only reason that Pearl has Dinalva on her shows is for confrontation. And shout out to my sister podcast, How to Survive a Podcast. She is the living and breathing embodiment of what you don't bring to the table because you're exploited. At this point, I honestly think that Pearl exploits Dinalva. She has her on the show for shock value. She knows the woman's views are contrary. They're going to cause controversy. They're going to cause disagreements. They're going to cause arguments. Now, if you want to do a show without those negative emotions and things in it, you're not going to have her on there. But that's why she's on there. Don't get it twisted. She doesn't really like Dinalva. She tolerates Dinalva. I'll say that again. She doesn't like Dinalva. She tolerates her. She tolerates her for as long as she's on the show. Because she knows that she brings controversy, which brings eyeballs, which brings clicks, and all that other stuff. Remember the words of Eric Bischoff. Controversy sells. If you could have a podcast, much like this one, okay, my content is a lot of reaction stuff like that, but it's just me. So when you're listening primarily to myself. And if you like it, fine. If you don't, that's fine too. But it is what it is. And it is about me and what I think. Now, soon we're going to start branching out and having guests and stuff like that on the podcasts and stuff like that. And you'll see it take an entirely different viewpoint. But when I any controversy that comes across on the podcast are stuff that I bring on. I don't rely on anybody else for anything. I want to do it. I fire up the equipment. I sit down. I get the camera and stuff going, and I do it. That's it. But as much as it pains me to say, let's attempt to hear some more.
And you've got everybody trying to talk to her, and Pearl was so empathetic, and then I just felt it, and I just couldn't help myself because I just can't listen to all that bullshit that comes out of her mouth.
To get a man and control
Exactly,
him.
which means
you
that
need to
somebody-
control yourself.
Listen, and I do, and that's why I said I would rather be in a situation where I can control myself and not have to be always influenced or hurt by
why
other
wouldn't you
people's
just not
actions.
have, if you want to make
Okay. I just noticed Sarah's expression change. He watched her. He turned away. He shook his head like, oh my God, here we go. And I can see him tuning out.
Make life about you and what you want. Don't have kids.
But it's not about
Like,
what me and what I want.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
I'll let Auntie speak again in a second. But what Pearl said is on point. This whole argument started because Dinalva was saying she's going to have her own kids and they live in two different houses and they can see the dad because she can't live with a guy. And so Pearl's asking now, if that's how you feel, then why bring a child into this world? And that is the God's honest truth. Why bring a child into the world with a parent that you don't like or that you tolerate? And it's going to be pointed out in this video, in this clip as well. That children born into households of women who elect to be single parents. This isn't someone who's widowed. This isn't someone who's in a relationship and got divorced. This is someone who knowingly entered into the arrangement by themselves. And you are at every statistical disadvantage in doing so. You become the poster child for everything negative in that child's life. It can always trace back to you because you decided, I don't need no man. So my kid don't need no man. Now, once again, for those who are in relationships and it didn't end and it ended badly, or it ended, or they had the misfortune of losing their spouse or loved one or whatever, that's a totally different ball game. Because you were in a situation that you didn't choose to be in. I'm a single parent because my husband died. I'm a single parent because we tried and tried and tried and just couldn't make it work. That's different. And I can take my hat off and I can honestly say to people, okay, at least you tried. You put the rubber to the road and you took the steps to make it happen and it just didn't. So I understand that. And because I understand that and I understand what you're talking about, I'll support you any way that I can. Because it wasn't your fault. This was something totally unplanned, totally out of left field that dropped in your lap, and now you have to deal with the cards that you were dealt. That's the hand you got to play. But no. Dinalva, in her narcissistic righteousness, think, I don't need anybody. He can stay over there. I can stay over here. We can have two different houses. The kid can go to the both houses and live well and blah, 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 blah. It doesn't work. It doesn't work because the kid is going to learn to play both sides. If mommy doesn't want to go ask daddy. If daddy tells me no, I'll go ask mommy. If mommy says no, I'll go ask daddy. I want a PlayStation. Mommy says no, I'll go ask daddy. I'll get it. I want to stay out late. Daddy says no, I'll go to mommy. Because mommy will say yes. Kids learn very, very quickly the boundaries that they can go to and the boundaries they can push. And they will push and push and push to their heart's content. And because you got people who are in a one-parent household and the other parent is there, just not in the immediate picture, they're going to do what they want. I've been in situations where I've seen children ask their mother something. Mother says no. Ask their father something. And then get surprised when the father says no. And the father says, you don't think we talk? And that's in a house where both parents are there. You don't think we talk? And we don't talk about you? Come on. What kind of stupidity is that? And once again, this is from someone who lives in a 2-parent household. But they try to push the envelope. They get shut down hard, but that doesn't stop them from trying.
It is. Dinalva.
Did you hear someone in the background go, huh? Because she is as full of contradictions.
No.
Dinalva, wait. Okay, if you're putting...
I call it. She's a walking, talking, breathing contradiction. And will say anything with the sole result of having their voice heard and to be right. Because let's be realistic about the whole thing. She's talking because she thinks she's right. Her worldview is the worldview, and to hell with everybody else's. Do what I say because it works for me. Now, we don't know if it works because you've never been there. And once again, you've never been there. That's like asking a dragon, how does ice feel? Or how to make ice. How the hell would I know? I breathe fire. What does that have to do with the cost of tea in China? Unfreaking believable.
Your feelings above the kid. So if you're saying, because I don't want to get along with a man, that I can't control his actions. Your words, okay. So because you're putting your feelings above what's best for a child. So if that's what you want to do, then why would you have a child?
Okay.
We were talking about that just a few minutes ago. If you're in a position where someone says, okay, I'll be a sperm donor, and you can have a child, and then you turn around and you say, okay, and we'll co-parent. Why would you want to do that? Unless you honestly don't care about what the other person says or how they feel. You want a child. You're going to have a child. I'll be a sperm donor. Okay. And because I'm feeling magnanimous, I'll let you visit the child when you want. But you can't stay here. You have your place, I have my place. We'll co-parent and everything will be great. Right up to the point where it's not. And then what do you do? What do you do when you start hearing stories that this kid's playing both sides against the middle? This kid is an entitled, spoiled, narcissistic brat. This child, you may tell it no, but it knows yes because it's going to go to the other parent. And that'll be augmented because I guarantee you, the man in that situation will be like, you know what? Screw this. You want it? Fine, you can have it. Let's see mommy top that. And once again, that's no way to raise a child. No way. That's not conducive to a happy household. But it's going to happen because after a while, the man's going to be like, you know what? Screw this. Men and women can have a child And they're expected, not by society, although society does expect us at a certain point, but biologically, they're expected to raise that child together. A man cannot be a woman cannot be a man. A mother cannot be a father cannot be a mother. They can do the best they can with the tools they're given, but they're gonna fall short. Every single time, they're gonna fall short. And they're gonna fall short because they lack the tools that the other partner brings into the relationship or brings into the family. Getting back to this video, let's listen to it very carefully and once again watch Sarah Garvey's expression because it's priceless.
Okay, I'll repeat.
Sometimes you ask closed questions. Sorry. You just want yes or no. Sometimes you'll ask open questions. You'd like the person to expand. Dinalva expands on everything, whether it's open or closed. She will just expanding bullshit.
Going back to How to Survive a Podcast. What did I say to do when you're on a podcast and you're on the panel? Be short, sweet, and concise and to the point. If they want to know more, they'll ask you to expand, and then you expand. But in the first instance, yes or no? Do men think that women are do men think that women's goals are unattainable? Correct way, yes. The host made it say, expand it, what do you mean? Then you go into your explanation. The wrong way. How does do you think that a man feels that a woman's standards are unattainable? Well, I feel take the L. Just take it.
Exactly what I said again. As a woman, I am very nurturing, and I would be a great
In your head.
mother. I know that.
Hold
I
on,
don't listen. I don't need anyone to.
You see that? You see that? That is the look of a man who says, oh my fucking God, this chick is delusional. At this point, she's just talking to hear herself talk. She has no idea what the word salad coming out of her mouth means. Oh, no, let's take that back. I think she does know what it means. She knows it makes no sense. But it's how she feels, and it's the best way she knows how to convey it. Pretty privilege at his best. And I say that because she is pretty. I'm not going to take that from her. She's a pretty woman. And in another time, in another place, I'm not married. I smashed the hell out of that. Or after I'm done, zip up my fly, put my clothes on. Nice knowing you. Go outside. Delete. On to the next one. And I say that because knowing me the way that I am, and the way I operate, and the way I move, we don't get past the first date. We don't get past dinner. Because she starts talking, I'm like, oh hell no, I'm out of here. Excuse me, I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Go to the bathroom. Excuse me, table 3. Here's the money for my stuff. I'm out of here. This chick.
to tell me this or not, because none of you actually know me in my private
You don't even know yourself, so none of us want to know you in your private life.
life, in my personal life. Which means
Dinalva,
that
yes, I
wait,
do.
wait, no, you don't actually. You don't. You actually don't. You actually don't.
Okay.
You really don't know what I do on a daily basis,
Okay,
and that's why I
okay.
say
I see that as a put down. But April, you do not need her as a friend. You do not want to know what she does in her personal day-to-day life. Because if she had to tell you what she does in her personal day-to-day life, it'd be more bullshit.
for me,
I'm going to go even further. You don't want her in your life, not only because you don't want to hear the bullshit, you don't want to hear her talk. You don't. I said this before, and I'll say it again. To quote Megan Trainor, your lips are moving, so you must be lying. Everything out of your mouth is a lie. Full disclosure, maybe not everything. There's got to be some truths in there to make it more plausible. So somewhere in there, there's a bit of truth there, a smidgen of truth there, but not enough to make anything worthwhile. And poor Sarah, you can see that he's like, why is she here? Why is she here?
well, I am thinking of the child, because I would rather have a very healthy relationship with somebody that I have a child with.
Stop the lies. Now, we're going to go and do an if-then statement for you computer geeks out there. If she really looking for the happiness and well-being of her child, then she needs to be in a committed relationship, staying together. That's the only way this thing works. In no other universe does it work. Unless you go to Dinalva land. But then it doesn't work there, because the minute the rubber is to hit the road, you see the lie, and it's like, well, why even do it? Why go for it? Bounce, I'm out.
That is not based on possession or having to try and get on.
I don't know what relationship is based on possession, and she doesn't want to try to get on with anyone. And before that, she said that she was just going to get a friend. Now she's going to get someone she gets on with. She doesn't want to try to get on with a man. I could just imagine him having sex without her trying to get on him.
I don't.
Wow. And once again, I find no fault in her logic. From the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, you're arguing with her about something. I see you get to the point where it's, I got to go to work just so that you can get out of there. At least I'll bash heads with people who I can't agree with on some level. And there's no way that can do anything but end badly, because if you get up and you fight, you go to work and you fight, you come home and you fight, pretty soon you're like, why am I fighting? And two things are going to happen. Either you're going to find someone who you don't fight with and get with them, or you're going to leave her. And I can see scenarios where you're doing both. You get the person, you know what? She's agreeable. Let's see what she's got to say. And he falls in love with her and leaves him, and leaves Dinalva. And he takes the kids. Because the kids don't deserve that. They didn't ask to be born up in that situation. They didn't want Dinalva to be their mother.
Don't want to have to do that, because the friction is going to go on the kids. So instead, my main focus will be on keeping myself happy so I can give the best
That's her main focus, keeping herself happy. Nothing.
Here, here. Once again, it all comes back to me. What I think, what I feel, what I need. I need to be happy. Happy is transitory. Happiness is an emotion. It's fleeting. The best we can hope for is you have more days where you are happy than days that you are sad. The end goal should be contentment. I am content. I am content with my surroundings, my situation. I go to sleep knowing tomorrow will be just as good, if not better. Because I'm at peace with myself. I'm at peace with my surroundings. I'm at peace with my spouse. I'm at peace with my children. I'm at peace. And remember, that's one of the first things that men look for in women is peace. Dinalva is argumentative. She's aggressive. She's domineering. She's disagreeable. Negative emotions. Negative emotions. And who wants that? Who wants that? I don't want it. I'm sure there are many of you out there who don't want it. Back to the video.
She's a little child, keeping herself happy. That's all she cares about.
I am to my child.
And
That's
does
it.
that child, hang on, but does that child need two parents?
Yeah, and they'll have two parents.
So what happens when the man that you've decided to pick and just have living down the road or wherever, he decides, you know what, I want to get married and have a family. Where does that leave your child?
Well, I'm not going to take the child away from the father.
Wow, again. That's something that I hadn't thought about till just now. What happens when the man that is the father of your child just says, you know what? I want to make this official. Let's be a true family. I want to marry you. Although I can't see anybody asking her that. Because someone who is that disagreeable, that argumentative, that confrontational, it's going to scare most men off. Unless they're a simp. And by that I mean someone who's going to go above and beyond to please her. No one else is going to want to. That's why someone like Dinalva, I'll never say that someone like Dinalva won't get married. They'll get married. Because there really is someone out there for everyone. There is someone out there who will take her, and because they think that they're punching above their weight, will shower her and give her everything that she wants. Everything that she wants. Let's get back to the video.
Do you understand?
parents.
And the thing is, we've spoken about this on the show on multiple occasions, that you put your child at every statistical disadvantage when you choose to become a single mother.
I'm not
right?
choosing to become a single mother.
Now, hang on, but you're choosing.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. When you're in a situation where you're at home and there's no male in the household, you're living the single life. Irrespective of where he actually is. He could be next door. But he's not in the house with you. He's not in the house with your children. Therefore, you're a single parent. And I'll tell you something else that'll happen. Eventually, the guy will accept this situation and he'll move on. He'll move on. And then later on, you get the child who then doesn't respect the father because he wasn't there. But the father wasn't there because the mother didn't want him there.
option to raise a child in a household without a man,
Okay,
right?
yes.
So your child is more likely to be homeless. Your child is more likely to go to prison. Your child is more likely to have mental issues.
Look at her face.
Yeah, look at her face. Blah, 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 blah. But Sarah's he's not wrong. As we stated earlier, that child is in every statistical disadvantage you could possibly put the child in. Straight out the gate. Straight out the gate. The child is born with 2 strikes. He's going to go through life with a 2-strike count before he even gets a chance to get anywhere. Which means the next swing and miss, he's out. And once he's out, all bets are off as to how far down the rabbit hole he's going to go, how bad the spiral is going to be, how bad he'll crash and burn. And believe me, he'll crash and burn. Now, there will be times where the child will thrive, but it'll be in spite of the parents, not because. They will exceed expectations because they weren't expected to.
She thinks she's so smart.
Why do modern women think that money can replace a father?
Because mostly that's how she replaced her father.
This part onward, Pearl, who was in the background, decides to start talking. And they get into a really good conversation. Let's listen to this and then we'll expand on it.
That's how her mum replaced her father, because she grew up in a household with 5 women. So I think that 9 times out of 10, if a modern woman takes money over a father, I think they come from either a bad home or they've come from single parents.
Have you noticed that on the show? A lot of times they'll say, my child will have everything they need.
Yeah.
But they won't have a dad.
And they don't realize.
Didn't we just talk about that? My child will have everything they want, but they won't have a dad. They will not have a father. They won't have a counterbalance that'll make them whole. Remember, mom and dad are yin and yang, light and dark, black and white, ebony and ivory. Together, a child stands his best chance of becoming a productive, healthy, and happy member of society. Together. Not one or the other. And that right there is centrist. In the coming days, we're going to get deep, deep, deep into the whole centrist argument. And why that's the way we should be going. That's where we should be living. As opposed to this red, blue, left, right, conservative, liberal nonsense that we live in. But back to the video.
Guys, that I mean, I remember saying that, oh yeah, my child had an alright childhood. It would have been better if he had an active father in it, but I'm not going to say, oh, he had a great childhood because I've done everything for him. No, he lost out on a lot of good times waiting for it.
Lost out on a lot of good times waiting for dad to come around. I look back on my childhood and I thank God every single day that I had 2 loving, caring parents in my life. Every day. Every single day. I am thankful that I had a mother and father who loved me and my siblings and raised us to the best of their abilities. Were there times where they messed up? Yeah. They're not perfect. Unless their first name was Jesus and last name Christ. No. or whatever deity you worship, or if you don't, what you don't, providence, karma, whatever. They were not perfect. Nobody is. But they did the best they could with the tools they were given. And for the most part, we turned out all right. There are things I know now that I wish I knew then. And there were times when I was in situations and it never occurred to ask myself, what would Daddy do? What would Mommy do? I honestly think that my life choices would have been better if I had simply asked myself either one of those two questions. Or, what would my parents do? Would it have been perfect? No, because I'm not perfect. But it would have been a whole lot better in the long run, adding those things that in hindsight are 20/20 vision. Back to the video.
For Dad. You know, but she just don't seem to realise that. And that is a classic example of what happens when you get a woman out there that's lost her dad at an early age, or her dad's not around, and then she just listens to her mother. And you'll find that she's already said that she comes from her mother as a single parent immigrant, which means that money's going to be on the top of her list. If she's over here as a single parent immigrant with 4 women in the house and the mother, that means that money's going to be really important. So
Overcompensation. Plain and simple. Overcompensation. Your dad's not here, so I'll buy you what you need to make up for it. That never works. Because money won't give you the one thing that child really needs, and that's the father. That's what the child needs. It doesn't need new clothes. It doesn't need new video game systems. It doesn't need the new phones, new tablets. It needs a male figure in its life for that proper balance. That's what the child needs.
it seems like in that household, they replaced a father with money.
And maybe that's why she was asking you the diamonds in the last episode.
Exactly, because if her dad works in diamonds, if your father works in diamonds, come from Angola where there's diamonds there. Surely there'd be a diamond as like a family heirloom, or like when you hit 21, you know, you would have this diamond, and she reckons that that's what she's used to. But if that's what you're used to, where's your diamond?
Well, and it's
Where's your diamond, Dinalva? She might be from Angola. I doubt it. Because to hear it, she's Angolan and she's Portuguese. I don't see any Portuguese in her at all. I just don't see it. So you can take that or leave that. I don't see it.
Diamonds not that valuable anyway.
Are they not? I don't know.
No, they're not. I mean, nowadays, I'm sure there's gold and other like more gems that are out there that are more valuable than diamond. But I know I can't remember the name of it.
I wonder.
There's a precious stone that is more valuable than diamond. And then she knew about diamonds. She'd want an uncut diamond, or she wouldn't want a natural white diamond. She'd want like a colored diamond or an uncut diamond or something like that. But she reckons she knows her stuff, but she just wants a diamond.
I wonder if that's why. Like, I've never really cared about money. And then people will like say I'm capping in the comment section. They'll be like, "Well, you wouldn't date a bum," and I'm like, "That's true. I wouldn't date a guy that's like not working."
Yeah,
like, of course not.
Oh, someone who's working, need an income.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't think that Pearl really cares about money because she comes from money. And let's face it, in the back of her mind, somewhere on a subconscious primal level, she knows that no matter what choices she makes in life, her father has her back. Now, she's done well for herself. She went overseas to Europe. She started out on playing semi-pro basketball and volleyball and parlayed into YouTube content creation. And she got really big. And to that I say, good on you. You go, girl. Because, to quote Jay-Z, it's just glad to see somebody made it. Out of all of us content creators out there, it is good when you see somebody actually attain prestige, fame, status. Do I wish it was me? Yeah. But I'm not going to begrudge her for it. I'm not going to call her out her name. I'm not going to slander her because she has something that I'm still trying to get. Because I'm happy for her. I am happy knowing that there's somebody out there who has the same dream that I had and actually attained it.
Well, just as a person, I feel like you should do something.
Yeah, everybody needs to work.
Yeah, like, but it's not even really about the, like I've always said, it's not really about the money. It's just that he's doing something.
Do you know something, right? Even if my mum was a millionaire, I still think I'll spend the money the way I do.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be, and I find that really strange because she comes from an immigrant family, but yet her values are all twisted. You'd think that you'd want more family together. You'd think that you'd be more careful with money, because you know what you can do. I know a lot of people that come here as immigrants, and then I would say to the African people, don't come here like from Nigeria. You've been to college and you're going on as if, you can't eat, if times are hard. But back home you're eating Gary and bread to get you through university. And you know what it's like to eat just plain Gary and bread. That's what got you. So cut back, save your money, and buy a piece of land back home. Because
again, I find no flaw in her wisdom. And I'll go a step further. If she comes from a family of immigrants, and there's no reason to think that she doesn't, what's she doing to ensure that any progeny that she has it better than she does? That's the goal of every parent who has ever walked this planet. We don't want our children to make the same mistakes that we made. We want them to be better off for them. That's why I have the podcast and things that I do. To ensure that my children are a little bit happier, a little bit more well-versed, a little bit more knowledgeable and a bit more at peace with themselves. That's why I do this. I do it because I want to leave this place, when I leave this place, a little bit better than it was when I found it. And I want my children to not just live, not just survive, but flourish. Knowing that Dad worked his butt off to help make this place a little bit better.
Because nowadays you can buy land in Ghana for next to nothing. I know a lot of West Indies that are buying land in Ghana for the price of, say, a woman not spending money. Don't get your eyelashes done. Don't get your nails done. Don't buy no makeup for a year, and you'd be able to buy a bit of land in Ghana. Guaranteed.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is, like, a lot of the modern women will come on the show and complain how expensive shit is, but they'll have their nails done. Fake hair.
Because it's the shit that they're spending their money on that is expensive. It is all
Tell them, Pearl. The first ones to go complaining about how expensive stuff is. But they'll get theirs. And a lot of times they'll get theirs, but the children don't get anything.
shit. Because I never understand. I mean, I don't wear makeup. If I was going to wear makeup, I'd wear bronzer because I love to touch my face. And I always say, you can wear, you're pale, so I can understand you wear mascara. I can't understand black women wearing mascara when you can get eyelash conditioner that's clear because your eyelash is already black. And that's what I never understood. They're already black. So if they're already black, why don't you just get something that's going to, moisturize them, condition them, and separate them? And nowadays they do all this one that makes it look strengthened and lengthened and everything like that. You don't need to get the spiders on your eyes. And all that costs money. And she's already said before that her hard times is not being able to buy clothes for a year, but still being able to afford to buy bottled water. I'd buy.
Wow. Just wow. Can't afford to buy clothes for a year, but you'll buy bottled water. Yeah, her priorities are in sync. Walking, talking contradiction. We're going to put a pin in it. And we will come right back to this in another video. Part 2, to be precise. Because this whole kerfluffle just gets more and more strange. And just how much strange, you'll have to see.